Hi, everybody. It's Professor Halpert here. We are talking about interactive read alouds, which are so special and such a non negotiable part, really, of your early childhood classroom. I mean, this is a method that taps into that upper strand of the reading rope, that language comprehension strand, and it is such a beautiful thing because in K through 2, right? Kids are not fluently with tremendous amounts of independence and automaticity able to read so fluently and get those words off the page. And what you're doing is you're bringing to them these stories. Not only are they joyful, not only are they infusing sort of a sense of who am I as a reader? Am I enjoying this genre or not? But you're infusing within your classroom this incredible language comprehension strain where we're talking about vocabulary and background knowledge and different text types, and where you're encouraging, and you are through your moves, which we're going to talk about, you're allowing your students to build their higher level critical thinking skills, like their ability to inference and their ability to make predictions. So what I want to do is I want to try to model this for you in, again, this little bit of this wonky format. So I think you're going to see a picture of me in the corner, but it's better than me trying to do this on the camera. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump into this read aloud, all right? Notice, please, try to notice a little bit of um, what are my moves? What are the kind of tactics that I'm employing in this read aloud? Okay, so this is The Best Story by Eileen Spinelli, and it's illustrated by Anne Wilsdorf. And I might ask my students, well, what do you think is going to happen, right? Does anyone have a prediction of what this book might be about? The Best Story. Here we go. The illustrations are fabulous in this book, simply fabulous. The Red Brick Library was having a contest. Ooh, what's a contest, right? Not all the kids in your class might know what a contest is, right? So a contest is sort of like a game that you can win at. The Red Brick Library was having a contest. Write the best story. Win first prize. First prize was a ride on the super duper looper roller coaster with my favorite author, Anne Miles, who wrote The Runaway Roller Coaster. Wow! First prizes don't get any better than that. I ran home, went to my room, shut the door. I sharpened 5 pencils, opened my notebook to a brand new page, and thought and thought and thought. And all I could think was that this writing stuff was hard and lonely. Maybe I needed help. I told my brother Tim about the contest. The best stories, said my brother Tim, have lots of action. Ooh, what do you think about that? Give me a thumbs up if you think best stories have a lot of action. So, I wrote a lot of action into my story. I wrote about a bus hurtling down the highway with no one at the wheel. Hurtling means going really, really fast, and sometimes dangerously fast, right? If I ask you, can you show me with your hands, can you show me with your hands what hurtling might look like, right? What might it look like, right? Oh, something like, right? Can you show me with your hands without touching your partner, right? Okay, so kids might do some sort of movement activity to indicate what that vocabulary word means, right? I wrote about a bus hurtling down the highway with no one at the wheel. I added a tornado and a pirate and a great white shark. But the story didn't seem quite right. I wonder why the story didn't seem quite right. So I asked my dad, and he said the best stories have plenty of humor. Humor means that the stories are funny. Who likes stories that have humor in them? Can I see a thumbs up? Yeah, right. So I changed the great white shark to a monkey, and I put the monkey at the wheel of the bus. And I turned the tornado into turnips. Oh my gosh, that's so silly. And I dressed the pirate in polka dotted pajamas. What? That is so silly. Dad laughed so hard he popped a shirt button. Even so, this story didn't feel quite right either. I wonder why the story didn't feel quite right. First, she tried a story with action, and then she's tried a story with humor that was funny, but it didn't quite feel right yet. Along came Aunt Jane. "What are you doing?" she asked. "I'm writing a story, the best story. For a contest at the library, I can win a roller coaster ride with my favorite author." "Oh, well then," said Aunt Jane, "here's all you need to know. The best stories are the ones that make people cry." Oh, what's happening here? Oh my gosh. So, I gave the bus a flat tire. I sent the monkey to the funeral of his pet goldfish. I turned the turnips into onions. And I made the pirate chop everyone. And there were lots of tears. But the story still wasn't right. My teenage cousin Annika said, "I have news for you. If it's not romantic, if it doesn't show love," that's what romantic means, "it's a loser." So, the pirate introduced the monkey to his sister Grace, and they fell in love. And I turned the onions into wedding invitations, and everyone lived happily ever after. Wow, maybe that's the solution, a romantic story. Let's find out what happens next. Finally, my story was ready. So I read it to my family. What do you think? What do you think they're going to think? Turn and talk to your partner for a second. Do you think that she's written her best story? What do you think? Turn and talk for a minute with your partner. "Not enough action," said my brother Tim. "Maybe the monkey can fall into the wedding cake," said Dad. "That would be really funny." "It's hard to cry at a wedding when the groom is a monkey," said Aunt Jane. Annika said it would be perfect if I added a kiss. In all this time, My mother hadn't said a word, so I asked her, "What do you think is the best story?" I'm noticing this girl's expression on her face, and I'm wondering how she's feeling. How she's feeling when her brother and her dad and her aunt and her sister all comment about her story. How's she feeling with her face? And I'm wondering what's the best story because I'm a little bit confused. Can you turn and talk again with your partner for a quick second, right? What do you think is the best story? Oh, that looks like a yummy hug. Gosh, I love yummy hugs. She gave me a hug. I think the best story is one that comes from the heart, your own heart. Oh. That night after supper, I looked into my own heart and rewrote my story. No more monkey, no more pirate, no more wedding invitations, no more happily ever after. Oh, I'm noticing. I'm noticing the expression on her face. It looks like a smile. Oh, and I'm noticing all the words and all the sentences on her pages. I'm wondering, I'm wondering if she's finally figured it out. What do you think? Let's find out. Oh, my new best story is about my family and my two best friends, Tara and Josh. It's about my cat, Ollie, who sleeps on his back, and snow days, and toast with strawberry jam yum. It's about fireworks and rainbows and bike rides. Oh my gosh, I love so many of these things. I love taking bike rides. I love taking bike rides next to the beach. My biggest problem was keeping the story short. Once I started pulling things out of my heart, it was hard to stop. When my story was finished, I turned it into the judges. Maybe I'll win that roller coaster ride with Ann Miles, and maybe I won't. Either way, I'll be happy. I'll be a winner because the story I wrote is my own, not somebody else's. And that makes it the best. So, boys and girls, my friends, right? Just like the girl in the book, you have your own story. Your story matters, right? Your story matters because nobody else has a story like yours.